The 2005 Class A Championship Trophy will go to either lightning quick Chicago Hope, who won it in 2003 as well, or the 30-7 Alleman Pioneers, who have not lost to a Class A team all season long. All the shots, the tension, and the glory coming up on the IHSA television network. Night for a select group of girls in Illinois girls Class A basketball in Bloomington Normal. We are live inside the Redbird Arena on the campus of Illinois State University, and we're glad to have you along for a state championship game here on the IHSA television network. I'm Jim Albrecht. It's depth against speed tonight. Alleman runs in 10 players. They're deeper than Bill Gates' pockets. Now, when you talk about Chicago Hope, they travel quicker than a juicy rumor. As far as experience, Alleman's got all kinds of seniors. Chicago Hope, not a one in the lineup. What does it all mean? Let's go to the ladies who will run it down for you. Here's Bernie Chero and Ann Penstone. Ladies.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Well, right now it's not about rankings and it's not about record. It's about heart and spirit. Many naysayers thought perhaps these two teams wouldn't even be down here at the Elite Eight, let alone in the championship game. But they share something, an indomitable spirit, Bernie.
Well, you know, how do you measure the heart of a champion? We'll find out tonight. Both teams want this #1 first place trophy. They worked for it all year long. It'll be a great matchup tonight between two teams that are going to push the ball down the floor.
Well, it takes 5 games to get to the Elite Eight and then 2 before you can reach this pinnacle. Let's take a look at the road. First with the visitors, the Lady Eagles of Chicago Hope. There you see against Chicago Christian in the sectional final, 54-40, and then upset perhaps a higher-ranked team, Lombard-Montini, in a tough contest, but all underclassmen there. Kankakee McNamara in the quarterfinal by 5, and then a tough game where Lish had a shot to tie it up and send it overtime, 42-39. Then for Alleman, they went against Abington. Pretty solid victory there. And then upset #1 ranked Quincy Notre Dame, beating Nashville coming from behind, 32-27 in the quarters, and then against Sterling Newman, who made a stirring comeback, beat them by 5, 53-48. And Bernie, when you look at key players, first for Chicago Hope, they may have the 3 best guards, A or AA, in the tournament. But today, Latier Eason tore it up.
Absolutely the best guard play in the state. If we take a look at Latier Eason, she's going to be the premier player tonight. This morning she had 32 points in 21 minutes, worked very hard at the perimeter, and did everything that was needed to get that pressure defense going.
On the other side, we've got a Cecil B. DeMille movie, Cast of Thousands. We're going to pick Jessica Seedham because she's been so solid throughout this tournament.
Again, another guard who did everything this afternoon. She is a senior guard, 5'9". She averages 17 points in the season. She's going to have to score 17 points tonight to get her team that first place trophy.
Well, Chicago Hope is perfect so far. They've been to state twice and they're in the state championship game twice. And to take home a trophy, what will they need to do tonight?
Well, let's take a look at the keys for Chicago Hope. Miracle on 55th Street. You know, nobody believed in them. In December, there were questions. Players quit. They had a floor that didn't work. It was leaking. They had no place to practice. The miracle is about them. RPMs, they've got to keep the engines running. And they have pressure defense. Look out, because they can pressure the ball end line to end line.
Oh, you're in for a real treat tonight. 2 great teams and the culmination of the A station. Let's take a look at the maps and where these teams are located throughout our state. You see Chicago Hope is in the city of Chicago, and Rock Island Alleman is over in the Quad City area on the western side of the state. And now for the starting lineups and all the entry things, let's go to PA announcer Jeff Fritzen.
Fans, before our soloist sings our national anthem, we ask that you please remember and honor the men and women of the United States Armed Forces serving throughout the world with a moment of silence. Thank you. We ask you to please join our guest soloist, Tara Miller, a student at Robinson High School, in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, fans, here are the starting lineups for the championship game of the 2005 Class A March Madness for girls. First, from Hope High School in Chicago, number 3, Latier Eason. For Alleman High School of Rock Island, number 4, Amanda Clifton. From Hope, number 10, Precious Gaddis. For Alleman, number 24, Jessica Sedum. For Hope, number 14, Lexavia Tony. For Alleman, number 30, Katie Manning. For Hope, number 23, Takara Gray. For Alleman, number 42, Anna Broody. For Hope, number 25, Jasmine Stewart. And for Alleman, number 54, Colleen Kilbride. Hope brings a 25-10 record into the championship game. The Lady Eagles are coached by Janelle Spearman in her 6th year with a record of 156 wins and 30 losses. Alleman brings a 30-7 record into the game. The Pioneers are coached by Jay Hatch in his 11th year with a record of...
There you see the slap on the floor, and Jay Hatch's team is ready to play. He's got it diagrammed for success. The coach of Rock Island alum, Jay Hatch, he has 3 state championships in softball to his credit. He'd like to add 1 in basketball.
Well, who wouldn't? You know, he's worked so hard. I think the keys to the game for Rock Island will be 10 deep, because today they played 10 players, 8 of them scored. They're going to have to stop guard penetration. Janelle Spearman has 3 of the premier guards in the state, and then they're going to have to make sure that they have their scoring average of 55 points. That's what they're averaging throughout the season.
And that scoring average took them to a school record 30 victories today in the semifinal, and all they care about is the one they're playing right now. We're ready to tip it off for Class A championship action here at Redbird Arena. In the home whites will be Rock Island Alleman, the Pioneers, and in the dark blue, the Lady Eagles of Chicago Hope. And we're ready to rumble, as the PA announcer says, and we're underway. Ball tipped and controlled by the Lady Eagles, and Latier Eason, who we led off talking about in the open, has the ball. Xavier Tony, the one returning starter from that 2003 championship team. And there's the everything, Precious Gaddis with the ball. Turnover early, and that's a good sign if you're an Alleman fan. Clifton handling the ball into Kilbride, who mishandles it out of bounds.
Clifton made a great move to the left and just really, you know, struggled as she came back across the side of the court.
There you see the starting lineups of 3 guards for Chicago Hope. Matched up normally 2 guards at forward and the center. Kilbride is playing for Chesser, who has sustained a stress fracture, but we'll see plenty of action here today. And we mentioned they play 10 deep, so don't worry. If you're an Alleman fan, you'll see it all. Xavier Tony to the hoop and scores. There's the first bucket of the game.
That's one of the guards that we will see tonight take that dribble penetration right to the glass.
They said speed. Clifton goes right to it again, off the hands of Clifton, but this time saved and that is Jessica Seedham. Manning over and Clifton reset. So we've got man defense for the Lady Eagles, and unaware of them when Clifton didn't think she was getting it back. Manning cutting down low and drawing a lot of attention against Precious, who puts her hand straight up and turnover. Tony with the ball and going the other way.
Now notice that Precious Gaddis is one of the guards, and she's posting up defensively.
Latier put up a tough shot that time, usually in much more control of that. Credit defense. So 2-0 here early in the first quarter of the championship game. Alleman with the ball, wearing the home whites. A little give and go to Manning. Spins, turns, and tipped. The quick hands of the Lady Eagles. 2-on-2. Latier Eason takes it to the hole and a little bit strong. A little adrenaline action, and other way, Seedham all by herself. Gaddis trying to catch her. Hits the ball, but draws the foul.
We have a track meet, Ann, up and down the court.
Well, that's
a lot of enthusiasm by both teams.
That's what Janelle Spearman wanted to see, and I'll tell you, you want a coach that gets involved in the ball game. She plays everything.
She is a motivator.
Number 10, Precious Gaddis.
Gaddis probably thought she was clean on that, and could have been, but the foul was called. It was a quick up and down. Seedham at the line, shooting 2. First is good. If she gets this, she will have tied up the ball game. She's an 80% free throw shooter. So she's the gal you want at the line when it counts. And she makes them both nothing but net. 2 all.
As a senior, she's a great floor leader. Both, you know, from the physical aspect of being a strong defender and knows when to attack the basket offensively.
Tony to Eason, who is a great three-point shooter as well. Has a smooth shot. Reminds me of Keith Wilkes from UCLA. They used to call him Silk. There she is, taking the 3 and a little bit off. Out to Clifton. Seedham getting a good breakdown, and they pass it to her, but there, oh, and Kilbride with the bucket.
What an opportunity basket for Colleen Kilbride.
Right place, right time.
And a neat assist for Jessica.
Alleman with the 2-point lead. Nice move by Xavier outside to Stewart. A little bit short so far. Lady Eagles cold, but they get the rolling. Back up. Latier Eason with her first 2.
I think it'll be critical for us to pay attention to the putbacks, second chance baskets, second chance points by Chicago Hope.
Stewart tips the ball, and
Whoa.
it's knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Pioneers.
Both teams looking very aggressive on the defensive ends. Alleman mixing it up quite a bit. We've seen a matchup. We've seen some man.
Backcourt to Clifton. She runs the point, but they are so well balanced that you'll hardly notice when they switch. Kilbride looking for Clifton on the side. Cutting through, and bucket for Kilbride.
And you know who made that happen? Anna Broody came with a backdoor screen, nice solid screen. You don't get an assist for that, but coach likes that.
And 2 of the first stops coming in for the Pioneers, as you see the Lady Eagles trying to tie it up. Tony with the ball, off the dribble. Takara Gray and out to Precious. Precious an all-stater. She has been fabulous, but her teammate Latier Eason was the one who scored the most today. And they don't care who gets the credit, as long as they get the points on the board.
And Latier Eason was named IBCA first team.
Tell you what, these 3 guards are wonderful. The third being like Xavier Tony, who is the calm leader of this crew. And again, no seniors on this Lady Eagle team. Gonna get a little skip-step travel. As the score, 2-point advantage for the Pioneers. And we'll be back right after these local messages. Back at Redbird Arena, where you see the Alleman fans behind the team comparisons over the season. Bernie, what stands out?
3-point shooting percentage for Hope, 42%. Free throw percentage for both teams, very solid. You know, the scoring average is very comparable. I really think they're both quality teams on the offensive end. What will stand out and make a difference tonight will be the defense. But what I wanted to mention was we haven't even played 4 minutes in the first quarter. Rock Island's already put in 8 players.
Right on schedule, Coach Jay Hatch and his cast of thousands, 10 deep, as we said in the keys. Seedham with the ball, being hocked by Tony. She probably hasn't felt this kind of pressure too often. Nice screen set for rebound out of bounds, and quickly down. You got Gaddis with Tony, but quickly go the Pioneers back on D, and you just mentioned that defense. Tony from the baseline looking for some openings. Lady Eagles have shown the ability to play the slow down, deliberate game as well as the speed they prefer. Oh, nice move by Precious. Bounces in and out, rebound. Stewart again, just off the rim. When all those balls were falling earlier, right now, they're not getting the advantage. Down to Posavasic, and she gets the roll. That's Elizabeth, one of the twins. Her twins, Maria.
And you know what, the play actually started with her sister getting the rebound.
That foul's going to be on Takara Gray. Let's see what happened.
Let's take a look at the twin assist here.
Posavasic at the line, shooting.
Posavasic putting in a nice power move using the glass.
33, Ashley Brown.
Maria to Elizabeth.
Well, Maria actually, you know, had the rebound down at the other end. They used Jessica Seedham in between, but that's all right.
They always use a few players.
Sure.
A little bit off on that free throw, so it's 8-4. Alleman with a 4-point advantage.
Both teams exploding out of every board, every opportunity. Both teams exploding down the floor.
You don't save anything in this ball game. To the hole, Tony off the side, no good. And we get ball out of bounds, and we'll go to the Pioneers with a 4-point advantage. And again, another sub entering for Jay Hatch. There's a scoring high and lows, 98 points, too short of the century in February, not too long ago. And look how they improved. Their low was at 27, way back in Thanksgiving. And that was right after they found out they had no gym. The water collapsed their roof, and the only thing they can do in their gym is shoot free throws and threes. And they do
that very well.
Yes, they do.
She did. She carried it. She took an additional step out of the hesitation.
So look at Clifton, and into the ball game for the Pioneers as Katie Manning returns.
I really like the new uniforms and warm-ups that Chicago Hope came out in this evening.
Drive by Eason, now to Tony. Stops, pops, almost surprised her teammate. Rebound, Stewart, touch, and will stay right there.
Well, unfortunately for Chicago Hope, Ashley Brown really didn't have a lot of control and just forced the shot. We'll get another opportunity here.
We got bodies on the floor, down to Clifton on the breakaway. She looked back and lays it in for two.
Stater.
Amanda Clifton with her first two of the ball game.
A lot of young talent out on the floor tonight for a championship game.
Got to be the start Jay Hatch wanted, and not quite what Janelle wanted. Let's see if the continuation, and he's going to count the bucket on continuation. Almost an NBA call, but it's going to be good. Posavasic picks up the foul. That's Elizabeth, and takes Tony to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. Trying to close it to three and make it a one-position game, and gets the roll. 10-7, 2:30 to play, the first quarter. Class A championship game. Ann Pencer along with Bernie Chero. Hope you're enjoying all the action. It has been a great 2 days of basketball. As you see, oh, yes, it is. Maria
backdoor swing. All they have to do really is work the ball past the guards and pound it inside, and they'll be fine.
Tony, tough shot, rebound. Oh, that's the freshman with the board. That's number 33, Ashley Brown, and we've got a scrum at the free throw line.
And Ashley's very, very strong. You could tell that she's a freshman.
There's a book that if you haven't had a chance to read, 6 Decades, 60 Stories by Taylor Bell. What a great read.
Well, I think the thing about the book that I really enjoy is the history aspect of the game of basketball. Things that we take for granted that we never knew about. It's a great gift for somebody that is really into basketball, and or someone that's even starting in learning about basketball, male or female.
And again, you can purchase that book going on the IHSA's wonderful website, www.ihsa.org, and you'll be able to find that /Bell. So the turnover to the Lady Eagles.
Well, there's a little bit of a collision down here.
And Latier Eason teeing it off the top. Tony. A lot of drives this time by the Eagles. That's not something they had been doing. And the freshman up with the board, Ashley Brown, unable to grab it up. And we've got so much contact. Marlier was swished. We're going to get hacked.
One of the things that I'm realizing as I look at the stats, 28% for Chicago Hope, 4 for 15, 5 for 7, 71% for Rock Island. And if you recall, Coach Spearman earlier this weekend talked about how they need to have composure, they need to be smart with their shot selection, and the last few shots, the opportunities that they're taking, they're just banging the ball up there. There's not any finesse. There's no, fundamental background behind the shot.
Well, they're a 54% for the season field goal shooting team. That's not where the range they want to be in. Sedum drives the lane for 2.
Nice job, Jessica. Read the defender. Defender was back on her heels, put up a nice, solid jumper.
Biggest lead of the ball game for the Pioneers, 14-7 with a little over a minute to play. It's been all drives so far, and that ball goes off Ashley Brown. Tony kind of rethinking that one. Full court pressure, which has not really affected the Pioneers.
No, and they're a pretty good passing team.
Just as I say that,
whistle, but she fouled from behind.
That foul looks like it's going to go on Latier Eason. And that will be her second. Now, one of the things they had trouble with in the super section were early fouls for their guards. That's something they don't go they certainly don't go as deep as Alleman. Of course, almost no one does.
Well, it's very difficult to replace that speed.
And it's stolen right there by Tony. A great play individually. Tony, quick grab, nice screen by Gaddis, and we're getting an offensive foul as Elizabeth Posavasek drew the charge.
Well, unfortunately for Hope, you would think they would want to capitalize on the steal and be able to score out of that steal.
That foul is Tony's first, but the biggest thing is it turns out to be a turnover that way with the offensive foul after the nice steal. And we're going to get another reach-in foul by Latier Eason. And these are getting costly and ringing up. And if that's right, it will be the third foul for the young lady we featured in the Open. And it is her third foul.
It might be to Coach Spearman's advantage to call a timeout just to settle the kids down and talk about what your game plan was and get them back in sync.
So she's got 3 fouls, and we're under a minute to play in the first quarter. Gonna have to go to her bench earlier than she thought. Posavasek and rebounded by Stewart. Tony looks down, 45 to play. Now they're probably gonna be looking for a controlled shot, like you said, Ernie. That's something they really haven't had so far this quarter.
Well, I think that would be beneficial to them.
They're trying to do basically one-on-one, and that is not what they've been successful for all game. Now we're gonna get a reach in on Sedum.
And I want you to take note that Rock Island switched defenses again, and one of the advantages for them is that they can mix it up so much. What Chicago Hope has to do is, as a guard, it's your responsibility to read the defense and run an offensive set to counter whatever defense is being employed on the floor.
Jacque Gray, number 21, enters for the Eagles.
Now they came out in a man, went from zone to man on the last possession.
Well, you look like a genius, don't you, when you put in a sub and she goes to the hole?
And she read the defense there in a man-to-man. She drove right to the basket.
Nice move. Jacque Gray, just a freshman, 5'7". And she's got a chance for the three-point play. And she makes it.
2 freshmen for Hope in a championship game.
Cuts the lead to 5. And that means they've only gone 7 players deep. Well, it's been everybody in but the kitchen sink for Alleman. Kilbride looking around. They're 5 seconds to play. Clifton with it. One thing the Eagles don't want is a
great step through.
Oh, what timing by Clifton.
Phenomenal step through by Jessica Sedum.
16-10, Alleman in the lead after 1. We want to remind you that this IHSA basketball broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. What a way to end the quarter. Here's Clifton driving the lane with about a second to go. Oh, nothing but net. Here she is again. Splits the D, and that's a 6-point lead. Jim Albrecht.
Thanks, Ann. Here's a guy who's been at Alleman for 40 years. He's well known in the community. Father Marabellity, of course, developmental director right now. You remember a whole lot of teams. This one might go down in the memory books.
This is really great. They're a whole team. In other words, there's no one person that depend upon. I could prove that first game down here when Yergel made that three-pointer that turned the game around completely.
It sounds like the whole school's here.
We're pretty close to it.
All right, Father, enjoy the game. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you, Ann.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And we've had an awful lot of support for Alleman. So does Hope. But we've got a foul on the floor. We'll sort it out for you here.
And as I look at the stats, Rock Island scoring and shooting 70%, Chicago Hope 25%. The stat that really sticks out is Rock Island scoring 14 points in the paint.
There you see a little bit disheartened right now, Janelle Spearman. But don't worry, she's spirited. She won't stay that way long. You notice they went 15 out of 16 in the public lane. And Sita makes that free throw. They're already in the bonus. And we're only 15 seconds or 17 seconds into it. And we mentioned before, an 80% free throw shooter. The big stat, as you mentioned, Bernie, 25% from the field for Chicago Hope, 70% for Alleman. So that's the big key right now.
Nice step through again.
Brought the ball down. Stewart fights for it. We'll have a jump ball. Possession will go to the Lady Eagles.
Both teams very scrappy, fighting for every loose ball. Nobody afraid to dive for the ball.
As they bring the ball up, let's see what happened in the timeout. What Coach Spearman decided. Now they're back in the zone. See how they attack it. Getting some balance and spacing. So far, Precious Gaddis has not been the factor that she often is, and they seem to want to go always inside off that stop.
I really don't like passing up in the air. You know, I always would prefer my athletes to stay grounded instead of jumping up. You can't control the pass very well. It's a great idea, you know, that pass, but you have to have control of it.
And you sure don't want to fool your own teammates. Oh, Stewart on Kilbride.
Now, I really think that Rock Island has realized that this is what they need to do, get the ball inside. So defensively, Chicago Hope will have to pressure their guards.
And with foul trouble, that makes it really tough.
Exactly. And I also think that if maybe they would put a little bit of a different type of pressure, mix it up a little bit, you know, give them a little bit of a double team or show something different, but don't allow that entry pass to come so
easy. Kilbride's stats that one rolls off. And into the lineup and saving the ball is number 20, Keela Harris. Keela is a junior entering for the first time, and it's 18-10, an 8-point margin for the Pioneers of Rock Island Alleman. First time in the championship game. Outside Stewart off the rim and rebounded by Clifton on the weak side. She'll bring it down. Oh,
nice pass.
Wide open underneath.
She saw that coming down the floor the whole way. Amanda Clifton.
Talk about guards reading the defense.
Yep, reading the defender. She looked left, passed to her right. That was textbook.
Right now, Hope looking a little bit unsettled as that shot by Tony off the back iron and no one there. And the biggest problem is they're getting easy buckets at this end. But she gets called for the walk. Oh, taken away from Anna Bruni. She's like, oh, no.
Coach Spearman trying to get the girls to understand.
Well, they'll
skip
step.
Shuffle, yep.
Too wide open, I guess.
Again, Coach Spearman wanting them to run some type of offense that allows them to get a good shot. They're struggling.
Kind of think they may get that ball to Gaddis and let her see what she can do with it here. It's a little bit strong. Tough shots. Rock Island Alleman is not giving them anything easy in that lane.
You want to give credit to Rock Island. We talked about how one of the keys would be to stop the dribble penetration, and they're very successful at it up to this point.
And we're going to get a hold underneath and another foul on the Eagles, which are piling up rapidly to the consternation
third, I
of
think.
Janelle Spearman.
Second.
That's a second on Stewart. So they've got a lot of Lady Eagles in kind of some minor foul trouble. As you look at Jay Hatt talking to his players, running fresh troops in and out. When you're tired, that's harder.
The next foul will be double bonus.
5:44 to play, second quarter action, championship game, Class A at Redbird Arena in Illinois State University. Manning makes the first. Katie, her third point of the evening. The crowd's a little bit stunned. No one expected this to be such a quick start for the Pioneers. And Manning makes the second.
Well, Chicago Hope really struggling offensively, very cold, shooting 20%.
They had several good shots early that just rolled off, and you got to believe Eason in the ball game.
Now, that's not the type of shot you want to take.
And we're going to get a foul underneath this time on the Pioneers, and that's going to put the Lady Eagles at the line. Fouls on Manning, her fourth team foul. Keila Harris at the line. She's a 69% free throw shooter. These kids are all very good free throw shooters at Chicago Hope, and that may be a way for them to calm down and get that touch back just a little bit.
Well, I haven't noticed anyone from Chicago Hope working to post up and try and get the ball inside and try and attack their interior defense.
Usually that's Takara Gray, and she hasn't been able to do so. And another charge. This one's going to be against Precious Gaddis.
You have to give Rock Island credit. Take a look at how the feet just are so quick. She stands rock solid and draws that charge. That's the second one tonight.
And each of the three guards has 2 fouls. And now a steal by Gaddis. She's going to go against Manning. And Manning, the same thing that just happened. Manning was the one that took the last one, and it looks like there may be, Precious seems to be hurt on this one. She's very slow. I don't know what she fell on, but she's staying down, and Manning doesn't look like she feels too great either.
That would have been an excellent opportunity for Chicago Hope to be able to score. Take a look at the steal. Precious Gaddis stealing the ball, attacking the basket. This will be her third foul. Again, great defense. Feet set, standing straight up.
A replay of the last possession, except on the left side of the floor, as the training staff here at Illinois State University, who we give a great debt of gratitude to. This Redbird staff has been fabulous in welcoming, and the greeters, the executive staff of the IHSA under Beth Sauser, they're fabulous, and they make this a first-class tournament for the kids and their fans. And the Bloomington Normal Area Visitors Bureau also makes it a lot of fun. I think they love having the tournaments, and we love being here. Good to see Precious okay. I think that was one of those, wow, land on your hip bone, and it hurts.
Well, very seldom do you see Precious Gaddis not on the floor.
Well, the biggest problem is that's her third foul, and the lead has the biggest one of the night, 22-11 for the Pioneers. Long pass, just a little bit too long that time. Chesser smiles back at Clifton. Now that's the pass they've been able to make unguarded. This time the defense was there.
And that's exactly what Hope has to do.
There you see the softball state championships from Jay Hatch. He didn't have all of them, but he had 3 of them.
From 92 to 98, and then he decided to just focus on basketball.
I tell you, I was privileged to call out those games, and he had several teams that just would not be beaten. And we're going to have 2 shots. That foul's called on number 40, Elizabeth Posavasic. That's her second. Oh, I'm sorry, that's called on Amanda Clifton, and it's her first. Take it away from Elizabeth. And Jacque Gray at the line. Her third point of the evening. They won this game, remember, in 2003, but only one of the players has really returned from any significant role, and that is Xavier Tony with the score, 22-13, Alleman. We'll be back after these local messages.
Thanks for watching Championship Night, and right now we're watching Alleman with the early advantage, 22-13. I just dropped in on Janelle Spearman, of course, the head coach of Chicago Hope, and she said quite emphatically, we got to step it up. We got to attack. She's not worried about foul trouble. She's worried about her team getting back on their heels. And back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. An aggressive status from Janelle Spearman, and you wouldn't expect anything less. Megan Marlier with the ball, number 10, being hawked by Tony. And that ball tipped away. Free ball. Who's going to get it? And it comes up with Tony, and that aggressive style that Janelle asked for has been gotten, and she got the timeout.
Great presence to call a timeout. 30 seconds. Allows them to have that possession.
Well, looks like Coach's speech worked wonders there in the huddle. There you see the Lady Eagles meeting with Coach Spearman. They were the Class A state champions, beat Pena 49-43 in 2003. She says that the difference between this team and the 2003 primarily is it's a more complete team.
Well, and as I recall, this team definitely has a better balance in terms of guard plays. And that's one of the things that she also mentioned.
As you see, we talked about it, the 30 wins is a school record for the Alleman Pioneers in girls basketball. And one of the things that she did mention is in that 2003 team, she had somebody who just loved to rebound. And she said she just hasn't found anybody that loves going to the boards. And it's apparent right now they're having a lot of trouble inside.
Well, and again, with the shot selection they're taking, they're shooting 20%. They're not the type of shots that are easy to board. They're banging them off the backboard, and they're almost taking them with no body control, and no one's getting position. Everybody's just kind of watching.
And they're, in most cases, getting only one shot.
Correct.
There's the Sparta Band under the direction of Jacqueline Cushman. They've been having a great time. They got a bass player out here that's been rocking the crowds here today. And these school bands also vie for the chance to be here. So they're champions in their own right. On the musical side, but Tia Eason takes a long shot. That's her first one.
Hey, that's a big bucket.
Going.
That's a big bucket. That's her first basket in 3 minutes.
And that brings the lead down to 6. Megan Marlier being guarded by Jacque Gray. Inside, nice defense, tipped away by number 20, Keela Harris. It'll stay with the Pioneers. Spearman won a foul on that, didn't get it.
Well, I think what she was trying to say is that the ball went off Alleman's shoulder, and it should have been Hope's basketball.
No matter what she was pleading, it fell on deaf ears.
Yes.
Stays with Alleman, and the defensive pressure has definitely picked up.
There's that give and go. That was an excellent execution of a give and go.
Jessica Sedum, her 7th point of the night. And Eason out top. Tough shot, gets the bucket, and it's going to count, and she's going to the line.
That was a continuation. I thought it was a good call. A lot of people don't understand that, but if you take a look at the dribble penetration, she hung up in the air a little bit prior to letting go of that shot. She's hanging, and she let it go. It's a continuation.
Notice how she kept her head, got her shoulders square, and kept her eyes on the hoop.
And used the glass.
She's one of those players that's very hard, I think, to hit it directly over the middle of the glass, but she does this on a regular basis. Free throw is good. Closest they've been in a while, 5 points. They were down by 11, and they've cut 6 off of that. And a lost ball picked up, and we'll have a jump ball, and alternate possession stays with the Pioneer. Up, we had a missed signal.
How's this for contrast? Chicago Hope is shooting 85% from the free throw line and 27% from the field.
That's gone up from 20, though, just a couple of minutes, so you can tell they've made some improvements by taking better shots. Sedum out to Clifton. A lot of movement and much tighter defense by the Lady Eagles.
Defense can definitely shift the momentum.
Jacque Gray has given them a big lift.
Nice backdoor screen.
And on that nice cut, we're going to get a foul on Stewart, and that could be her 3rd.
We talked about this earlier this morning, how critical it is for the girls to cut in front of the defender. Watch how she cuts in front of the defense rather than behind the defender. Amanda Clifton leading her with the pass.
And it would have been a tough shot for her, so that was probably a foul you really didn't need to make.
Exactly.
Makes the first. Manning with the first. Takara Gray replaces Stewart with the foul trouble. There you see she's 3 for 3 from the line, a total of 5. Katie's a senior, and she cans the second. Back up to 7. The biggest lead of the night has been 11 as Latirison brings it down for the Lady Eagles. 3:21 to play, second quarter action, championship Class A. And again, a defensive change. can't get complacent because they're always throwing some new look at you. Now they moved up high. That's where Jakara Gray likes to play, and she's good from there. Eason
Nice
on a
spin
nice
move.
pass.
Oh, wow. That was phenomenal.
Eason
Great
to
spin
Harris.
move. Took the defense with her, and out of the spin move, she gives the dish.
And there's Jakara Gray picking up the defense on the forward side. If they can convert, that would be huge. Jacquay Gray, a little bit short. Come back the other way, but they're getting better shots.
And the defense is really, really stepping it up.
Nice defense on that cut. This time when Manning went, there was a defender with her.
Let's go back in and take a look at the dribble penetration with the spin move. Nice dish, no look pass. That's hard to teach. And that's natural.
It is natural, but you've got to be ready for it. Credit Keela Harris for being ready for that pass, because there wasn't much space between the two. Sedum always draws the toughest assignment. That'll be a tough shot. Eason rebounded Clifton. She doesn't want to pick up a silly foul here. 2 minutes to play, 5-point lead. Sedum open. And there'll be a foul on Tony, I believe.
One of the things I think maybe an adjustment that Rock Island might want to make, so many shots are being blocked. If they just give that little bit of a head fake prior to releasing the shot, they may be able to get some, shots to fall and have an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Jessica Sedum makes another free throw. There's Jay Hatch and his crew, the Alleman Pioneer bench. Feeling decent right now, but you can never feel relaxed in a championship game. These Lady Eagles are dynamite. He knows it. They're all underclassmen, not a senior on the squad. Not so for the Pioneers. They start 4 seniors and a sophomore. But they play so many players it doesn't matter.
Correct.
28-21, 7-point lead with 1:46 to play. Tony swings it to Eason. That's a spot she likes, but she's got a hand in her face. Tony launches it, short, saved, and a nice play by Takara Gray to keep it with the Lady Eagles.
I think Tony rushed that shot just a little bit. She had the defense, she split the defense pretty well. Maybe a little bit of a dribble penetration that she does so well would have been a better decision.
Well, she's going to get another chance.
Between
nice
the legs,
bucket.
and there we go with that aggressive guard play.
And that was in control. That's the difference.
Again, there's another aggressive guard play in control. Amanda Clifton, a sophomore, she hesitated, just like I suggested, and made the shot.
So after the shot by the Lady Eagles, Clifton comes right back and silences the crowd. Saved, but into the hands of the Pioneers. She's got, long pass.
Nice lead pass.
And Marlier trying to run it down, and we're going to get a foul. Which is a shame because the ball was going to go out of bounds. It wouldn't have been catchable.
21, Jacquay Gray.
Jacquay Gray picks that up.
And that's a double bonus.
That's her first, but it's double bonus. So Marlier, a 76% free throw shooter at the line. And one of the rare times the Pioneers have had something not go their way here tonight. Precious Gaddis returns, the All-Stater, and replaces Tony as Marlier goes for her second. 7-point lead for Alleman. And Rare missed both of them.
Oh, and what a board here.
But Chester.
Left-handed from the right side.
Emily Chester
gets the board, puts it up with her left hand on the right side, just powers it up.
And there's 4 Lady Eagles around her.
Such determination.
So a 9-point lead after that putback on the great rebound by Chester. 31 seconds. Lady Eagles really want to score going into half. They started to be more in control, but every time the Pioneers have answered. Looks like they'll go for one. Easton's going to have to key it with 11 to play. The Alleman Pioneer fans
Brown is going crazy.
They are up there, and Precious launches a 3, no good. Going to be saved by Gray, out of bounds, and stays with Hope. 1.2, a chance for a catch and shoot.
It's so fun to see the community supporting these young ladies and their efforts. Everybody on their feet right now.
Oh, Precious just couldn't quite get the handle. Looked like it was Grease that went out of bounds, and that's the way it'll end after one half of play. 32, Alleman, and Hope 23. And we're going to be getting ready for awards, and as we take a look at the teams exiting the floor, we've had a good one. It hasn't gone the way that the Lady Eagles have wanted, but we've got some interesting information. Jim, what have you got for us?
Well, I've got a pretty happy Jay Hatch, but you can't be too happy yet, right, Coach?
Yeah, happy's not the equation. We got a long ways to go. Good 16 minutes, we're happy with that. We got to keep going.
Let's talk about your strategy coming out. You took an early lead. What'd you tell them coming out?
Well, we just want to be aggressive. We got to take it at them. We think we can get them in foul trouble. We've done that in the first half. We just got to keep going at them.
All right, Jay, work to do. Good luck.
Thank you.
That is Jay Hatch of the Alleman Pioneers. We're back with more after these local messages.
There you have a look at the trophies, and let's go to Jeff Fritzen because we've got some awards to present.
Third and fourth place team and individual awards for the 2005 Class A Girls Basketball Tournament. Presenting medallions will be members of the IHSA Board of Directors, including Board Secretary Catherine Finch of Stockton, Dr. Catherine Flanagan of Chicago Manly, Mike Kelly of Carlinville, and Greg Bradley of Mount Zion, Board Treasurer. Presenting the fourth place medallions will be Catherine Finch, assisted by Greg Bradley. At this time, please meet the Lady Comets of Newman Central Catholic High School, who finished the 2005 season in fourth place with a final record of 26 wins and 7 losses. First, Principal Father Paul Lipinski. Athletic Director Mike Paposi. Head Coach Brad Schwartz. Assistant Coach Jay Howell. Assistant Coach Paul Mellon. Assistant Coach Terry Moss. Manager Turner Schwartz. And now the Comets players, number 10, Aubrey Parsons. Number 12, Molly Demmer. Number 14, Abby Howell. Number 20, Kenzie Conley. Number 22, Jocelyn Mellon. Number 24, Maggie Paposi. Number 30, Katie Nolhoff. 32, Shannon Liston. 34, Danica Perino. 40, Shelby Coleman. Number 42, Ashley Vivarelli. Number 44, Jordan Wolford. Number 50, Maggie Bauman. 52, Mary Hughes. And number 54, Allie Patriga. And now will Coach Brad Schwartz and the captains of Central Catholic of Newman High School, please step forward to receive the 4th place trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lady Comets of Newman Central Catholic High School, your 4th place finishers. Presenting the medallions for the 3rd place team will be Mike Kelly, assisted by Catherine Flanagan. At this time, please meet the Crusaders of Althoff High School, who finished the 2005 season in 3rd place with a final record of 24 wins and 6 losses. First, let's meet our principal sister, Jan Renz. Athletic director, Glenn Schott. Head coach, Lori Crunk. Assistant coach, Jill Dalkey. Assistant coach, Jill Buckman. Manager, R.J. Crunk. Manager, Alex Anderson. Manager, Anna Pajaria. And now the Crusader squad members, number 10, Caitlin Pelker. Number 12, Teresa Lish. Number 30, Caitlin Alexander. Number 32, Alicia Goodwin. '34, Lindsay McNewitz. '40, Courtney Hemmer. Number 42, Michelle Mabry. Number 44, Megan Gears. '52, Stephanie Bobka. And number 54, LaShondra Harris. And now will Coach Crunk and the captains of Althoff High School please step forward to receive the 3rd place trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Crusaders of Belleville-Althoff, your 3rd place team in the 2005 Class A March Madness for girls.
We'll be back with more from Redbird Arena right after these local messages. There you see the scoring leaders, Eason with 10 and Sedum with 9, just as we predicted.
And, you know, I think the thing that we really need to mention is the fact that Chicago Hope had 29 opportunities to get those points, but they're really not capitalizing. Take a look at some of these field goal opportunities. That's 27% shooting. You can't win a ball game like that. They're getting the shots off, but they have to be able to, you know, finish the shot. And then I think the other one that sticks out would be the 3-point opportunities. Alleman, 22 points in the paint. Hope only 14. Second chance points, Chicago Hope 5, Alleman 3. As a coach, you really want to make sure when we come out in the second half, Janelle Spearman needs to say, listen guys, let's go and keep attacking the basket. You're getting your shots off, but let's make sure that they're smart shots and they actually fall.
Well, that's the score at half, 32-23, Alleman in the lead. We'll be back after these local messages.
Welcome back to Redbird Arena. I'm Jim Albrecht. Janelle Spearman, you're used to giving some motivational speeches that put some fire in the belly. What did you do this half?
Same thing, you know, we're down 9. I told them we had to play like we were down 19. The foul trouble plagued us and hurt us bad. And I told them we just had to play smart. You know, we have 4 people with three fouls. And we just have to truly keep it, play contained defense and attack the basket. Every possession is golden.
I'll let you go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Ann.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And when you look at a championship game, we've always got highlights. Let's take a look at a couple from the first half of this game.
Nice reverse dribble with a dish inside. Solid shot. Amanda Clifton here attacking the basket. Nice step through.
There you see some of the highlights of the first half, and we've got more of that for you. We'll be back right after this network message on the IHSA TV network. Back at Redbird Arena, and the Alleman fans are very happy right now with a 9-point lead, and they have 1 half of basketball left to play in this Class A season. The first of 4 weekends in a row of basketball here in the state, the original March Madness. And the first chance will be the Lady Eagles, and let's see what happens, because we talked to Janelle Spearman, or Jim did, and he's got those speeches ready, and she's had a few. She's a very animated lady and a great coach. Jacque Gray starts the ball game. Foul trouble has plagued them. And what they need is some composure and some good shots. And keep the defensive pressure on.
Well, how important is this first possession? There it is. Very important.
Jacque Gray with 3. And quickly, 6. Manning. Rudy thought about it.
Oh, they're showing good poise here, waiting for a good shot. Don't need to rush.
Long shot off and rebound in the zone for the Eagles. They have played that.
Different look.
Eason on the spin move and gets the bucket. Oh, Latier Eason.
Coming right out of that spin move and attacking the basket.
She made Kilbride take a step the other way, and she took the opening. So Kilbride tries to return the favor, and a rebound. Oh, we're going to get a foul, and that one hurt.
Well, Rock Island doing what they did in the first half, doing what they did best, getting the ball inside, working the paint.
Manning and Eason, she shakes it off, and will inbound the basketball.
Going after that loose ball.
So a 4-point ball game. Quickly, the Lady Eagles come out at halftime, just how the coach would want.
Well, not Jay Hatch.
No. He wanted to keep it going the same way, and Coach Spearman is getting a little bit more of her wishes right now. Eason, what body control.
That's a 7-0 run coming out of the locker room.
2-point ball game, and that silences the crowd. Anna Brody.
And that puts Alleman back where they need to be. That nice power slide.
Their first bucket 2 minutes into this third quarter. Ann Penstone along with Bernie Chero here in the Class A championship game. Oh, big steal by Clifton. Jacque Gray lets her go, does not foul. 2 points for Amanda Clifton.
Amanda Clifton with an anticipation reaction out of that pass. Takes it all the way down the floor.
Give the Pioneers credit. 7-0 run, and they answer right away.
Well, that's what a state qualifier does.
Boy, that was almost all the way down it came out. I don't know how. Rudy looks again. Down to Sedum. The entire defense for the Lady Eagles was on this half of the floor, and Manning gets it stripped.
Nice block shot.
Ball stays with the Pioneers. Stewart underneath.
You'll see that Manning puts all ball, strips it out of her hands.
Clean strip by Jasmine Stewart.
Looks inside to that camera.
Oh, nice screen. Beautifully
You
run.
have to work harder to get out of that screen. You don't want her coming out of a screen like that with a nice clear shot underneath the basket.
Well, the Pioneers on a run of their own. They've got 6 straight. And the lead comes to 8. shot. Gray. Jacquay Gray with another three. That's her second of the half.
Chicago Hope known for their three-point shooting abilities.
They weren't too successful in the first half, only one, but so far in the second, Gray has two. Ball goes inside to Chesser, then to Seedham. Chesser from outside, no rebound to Jacquay Gray. Looks for an opening. She's got Precious open on the left side, but not the numbers, so she'll pull it back.
Going back quickly on defense, shutting off the transition. In his zone.
See, Easton gets this one.
They're finding the three now.
And all of a sudden, 2-point ball game, and we're going to get a foul. So each time they make some steps forward, the fouls become a problem. And that foul is going to be on Jasmine Stewart, and that will be her fourth personal. And will probably find her a spot next to Janelle Spearman. But so far, she's staying in the ball game. She says, Coach Spearman exhorting her troops. Clifton at the line. That is good. Number 20, Keela Harris will replace Stewart. And number 44, Maria Posavasek, will come in for the Pioneers.
Both teams using multiple substitutions. It's great to see both benches go so deep in talent.
That ball is off by Clifton. 39-36. The lead right now, 3-point lead.
Ooh, between the legs.
Eason.
They call that schooled. She was schooled on defense. Chicago Hope really putting on the defensive pressure right now.
Hustling after it.
Feet everywhere.
Not quite enough. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point ball game with 3:39 left in the third quarter, and we'll be back right after these local messages.
1 point separates these two teams, but the U.S. Army National Guard is making a point, at least for one of these teams, Brian Hobble, who's been with the Guard for 19 years. He's a master sergeant, and looks like you got lost in that Alleman section, man.
Oh, yeah, we got a fun group. My daughter goes to Alleman right now, sophomore, and my neighbor Jessica's on the team tonight, so good luck, Alleman.
Now, do you learn that in training as far as putting on camouflage?
Of course. They want a little war paint on, so they put the A and stuff on there tonight. So.
Enjoy the game, sir.
You too. Thank you.
And we want to thank the U.S. Army National Guard for helping sponsor us. Back to Ann.
Thanks a lot, Jim, and thanks to all the National Guard and all those men and women in uniforms who protect us and allow us to have these fun games safe in our own country. I'll tell you what, these guys have been a riot, too. They have had so much spirit. Eason for three. She has found the range. And that is Hope's first lead.
That is our fourth three in the half, and the first lead in the game.
Posavasek was so open, she surprised herself. And no roll, gets her own board. No, fights for it, stays with the Pioneers.
One of the things, Ann, going back to the National Guard, they've been here all weekend, getting the fans fired up. They're throwing water bottles into the crowd and lanyards and just doing neat things, carrying the flag.
They've been running back and forth, carrying each team's flag and psyching up the fans. They have really been fabulous. In fact, there's a little competition going on between them. They try to see which of them can psych up the respective fans. Looking at the foul trouble, Stewart with 4 and 3 players on Hope with 3 fouls. So far, been much calmer in the second. Manning with 2 and Posavasek with 10. No problem with Alleman. That ball, Seedham off the back. And we're going to get a foul right there as Chesser goes to the hole.
Right now, Chicago Hope's defense is really causing some problems for Rock Island.
That fouls on Takara Gray, number 23, her second, and puts Emily Chesser at the line, shooting 2. Chesser, the lefty, no good. Now, she had incurred a stress fracture, came back during the state tournament play, and has looked very good. He's not started, but has played significant minutes. 71% free throw shooter. And she gets the second. 1 point lead for the Lady Eagles of Chicago Hope. And we have just what we'd expect out of a championship game. It is tight with 2:38 to play in the third quarter. It's anybody's ball game.
Now we're seeing some composure and poise on the part of the offense. Didn't see this in the first half.
Much more controlled.
Every cut is a purpose.
Craig Gray, guarded by Judy.
Hesitation.
Now, just as you said, a little bit out of control. That was kind of the type of thing early in the first half. That's all right.
You know, you want to see that type of penetration between 3 defenders.
We might say it's okay. I'm not sure Coach Spearman was too happy with that. She's easy to read and a great coach. Very, very spirited. Plays every point. 2 great coaches squaring off here along with their teams.
Well, both coaches really get their kids to respond well.
Chester with the offensive board, Posavasic with it, and that's 3 shots at it. His hands are quads, his proteges.
And I noticed just on this last possession, those 3 shots, every person who put up a shot altered their shot. And that's because of the defense. If you have to alter your shot, more than likely, it's not going to go into the basket.
That shot by Maria Posavasic, one of the twins, goes off the back iron. And her twin, Elizabeth, enters. So we've got the twins in the ballgame.
Great fans in the stands.
On both sides here. The Hope fans we can really hear right behind us here. And that shot ties the ballgame at 41 apiece. So much higher scoring for both these teams. They both were lower scoring than they're used to. .142 to play. Easton with the ball between the legs. And we're going to get a foul out top, I believe, on Sedum. We'll check it. Yep. And that foul on Jessica Sedum will be her second, trying to guard Easton. But that's only the second team foul. Neither team in this half even close to the bonus.
Well, it's amazing how second half Hope is now shooting 40%. The big difference. What a cut. Step through.
Unfortunately, she ran into the trees. She did.
She changed her pivot foot. But look at all the things that these young girls are doing. They're all underclassmen.
It's a little scary if you're an opposing coach, isn't it?
Very scary.
And give Alleman credit.
Very impressive.
Alleman really plays good footwork defense. They do not reach, stand their ground. Maria puts the ball on the floor. That's a tough assignment against the Lady Eagles. Clifton. Hard back on the iron comes to the Eagles, and down goes Eason. Looks like she sees an opening. She can handle the ball. What a nice move. Too hard, but rebounded in there. Coming up with it are the Eagles. Great job. Keila Harris.
Boy, Ann, you can just hear the bumps and the bruises of these girls just diving on the floor.
One thing that will always be said about these teams, there will be no shortage of effort when this is all said and done. Nothing will have been left back in the locker room. It's all on the floor.
Well, before the game, we talked about how both teams show such enormous heart when it comes to the game of basketball.
And Sedum caught it in the mouth on that one in that melee, and they're looking at her teeth. Hopefully she'll be all right. It's tough. I'm sure she'll be back. It stings, though.
Freshman point guard right now.
Let's see if Chicago goes for one. Precious loses the basketball, and that looks like the last shot may go to the Pioneers. 24 seconds in the third quarter. Clifton dumps.
What a dish.
Cheshire.
How do you see that? Miranda Clifton, all-stater, double team. Comes out to the double team. Was a pass to her teammate.
There's a young lady that does not play like a sophomore, talking about underclassmen. And a long shot. Easton went for it. Ball out of bounds, and it's going to come back. I don't know who she was throwing it to, but they're going to say That's one way to thank them. I don't think that was what they meant. And it went off the Lady Eagles, so they're going to have the ball underneath their own basket, and there is a chance for catch and shoot.
Crowd wants to know how that happened. I'm not so sure if it was kicked or it didn't really look like a pass.
That was very strange, actually.
1.2 seconds with an opportunity to
Alleman
score.
with a 2-point lead goes long, right back, Rudy, and it is not good. They have signaled immediately it would not be good. And
Jay Hatch wants a replay.
you can ask for it, but he's not going to get it. Third quarter ends with Alleman with a 2-point lead. Everybody wants to know, did this shot count or not at the end of the third quarter? Let's take a look at the replay.
And listen.
That was
for the
very
horn.
strange, actually.
This is my license. I think my parents wanted me to have that car. I pick up my sister. And
Alleman with a 2-point lead goes long, right back, Rudy, and it is not good. They have signaled immediately it would not be good. And
Jay Hatch wants a replay.
from the beginning, you can ask for it, but he's not going to get it. We're not sure because we couldn't see the clock.
Well, I would say it wouldn't have counted. There was 1.2 seconds. She bobbled a pass, had to set and shoot.
Doesn't matter now. It's a 2-point Alleman lead with 1 quarter of basketball left to play, and the winner of this game will be the state champs, and that's all that matters right now. Every possession precious. Rudy outside, no good, and yep, Sedum's going to get called for that one.
Rudy really needs to, when she's taking that three, get a little bit more levitation. Using her legs, her
Kinda
shots
flat.
falling. Yeah, her shots falling short the last 2 times, 2 or 3 times she put up a 3.
She usually has a lot more arc to her shot, but she has been a little flat on that one. And re-entering like Xavier Tony. Tony's been on the bench with 3 fouls. And here are the 3-quarter stats.
Look at the field goals, Ann.
Yeah, but there's a big improvement by Hope.
Absolutely.
Look at the free throws. 21 free throws. That's 3 times what Hope has shot. Nice fake by Eason. Bank shot, no good. Rebound Manning. 2-point Alleman lead. They led by as many as 11, and Hope came roaring back on a 7-point run, then 6 coming back for Alleman, and this is where we are with 6:59 to play. The Alleman fans continuing their cheers, and the Hope fans behind us as well. One very deliberate. Tough pass inside, and it's going to be good.
That was counting.
Rudy May had trouble outside, but not inside.
I'm not sure if the fans are going to get to catch that, but if you could see the eye contact that went on between the cutter, Rudy, and the pass. She looked at her right before she went with that backdoor cut, and it was like clockwork.
Costly, Tony just entered the lineup and quickly picked up her 4th foul. Broody, good. Anna Broody, 5 points, all in the second half. And quickly they swell the lead to 5. Eason takes the shot, there's the mark. But 1 shot and done as Kilbride rebounds. No numbers, but they're running that pace, and Clifton pulls it back out. Oh, wide open, Kilbride. Somebody didn't pick her up, but they didn't see her on the weak side.
Rudy open on the weak side.
They love that skip pass. Nice fake by Sedum. Tough pass, but Manning controls. Clifton banks it home.
Clifton with her own dribble penetration, splitting the defenders, leaning in. She does that very well for a guard.
Long shot, no good. Eason rebound. They fight over it, and it's going to go to jump ball and will stay with the Lady Eagles.
Last 2 shots by Chicago Hope, 3-point shots, both misses.
Boy, it's not often you see an all-state guard sitting on the bench with the 4th quarter, but Precious Gaddis is sitting right next to Coach Spearman right now.
Freshman right here.
Oh,
whoa.
What a bucket. And the roll. Comes up pumping her fist.
That's a girl that just turned 14 years old.
Jacque Gray, her 13th point of the evening. Manning, unguarded, puts it home. Lapse of the defense in the middle of the lane. 50-43. Eason fall away, no good. She cannot get a roll right now. She's hustling like crazy. Speaking of hustle, Tony tries to save it, unsuccessful. And here comes Chesser and Elizabeth Kosovasek as Spearman gives instructions.
Crowd really trying to motivate.
There you see Precious Gaddis on the sideline. And long shot, Clifton failing it. We saw Eason do it earlier.
Right there.
Now it's Clifton.
Taking control. Last 2 possessions.
Just about half gone in this 4th quarter Class A championship game. The winner takes home the trophy every girl dreams about in Illinois, and you got to earn it here on the Redbird Arena floor. Tony taking control. Going to get a penetration and a foul. And that foul's going to go on Jessica Seedham. And that's the first foul trouble for Alleman. She picks up her 4th with a 9-point lead. Alleman over Hope. 4:35 to play. We'll be back after these local messages.
Welcome back to championship night. I'm Jim Albrecht. It's been a game of switching momentums. Right now, the Alleman Pioneers have it, and Janelle Spearman, the head coach of Chicago Hope, is not happy about it. She told her team during this timeout, "You're giving them layups. We're down 9 again. Get your hands in their face," and they're back out on the court. And
there's one of the Lady Eagle fans that are hoping the tide might turn coming out of that timeout. We have 4:35 to play. And a 9-point lead for Alleman with the Lady Eagles with the ball. Stewart. Back to Eason. Jacquay Gray has been the star here in this ball game for the Lady Eagles. The freshman coming in doing a terrific job. And Precious back in the ball game, and she makes her presence known.
Well, you know, she sat out for a few minutes. Coach Spearman wanting her to get, you know, her head together a little bit. She's a floor leader. Took that drive with her left hand, transferred it over to her right.
And Precious makes the free throw, so 6-point deficit now with that 3-point play.
Jay Hatch wanting them to stay out. He's going to try and run some clock here, which is a smart move on his part.
And you'd never have guessed Precious Gaddis would have only 3 points at this point in the ball game, but those are 3 big ones. Oh, underneath, nice tip by Takara Gray.
And it's because she telegraphed the pass.
Eason to Precious, back to Eason.
Good decision.
Tough shot, and we're gonna get another offensive foul.
Good decision to pass it, but I'm not so sure it was a good decision the type of shot.
It looks like we're gonna have a little discussion by the officials. We don't know whether it's could be a double foul. Spearman pleading her case. Spearman hoping that it does not go against one of her guards, and we're having the discussion, which they should do. And Hatch says, "Hey, jump it up.
We'll take officials do.
We'll take a double foul."
Whatever call is first will be the call that works.
So it's going to go against Elizabeth Kosovasek. It will be her second. Take it away from Latier, or from Latier
He's
Eason.
telling him, Jay, I saw this prior to the charge, and that's a call that needs to be made.
The question then means that the bucket will not count because it had to have happened prior to that, and that basket is good. Eason at the line and makes them both. So a 4-point game after that discussion that went in the favor of the Lady Eagles. Clifton drives all the way, and she's going to get the foul, but the bucket does not fall, taking it right down the pipe. Takara Gray picks up that foul.
Amanda Clifton trying to take control of the game right now. She's leading scorer for Alleman with 13 points.
That's her 4th foul, and that's big as Clifton nails the free throw.
A sophomore, that shows a lot of maturity.
A lot of poise.
A lot of poise is right.
And she makes the second. 54-48. 6 points with 3:29 to play. A 2-possession ball game right now. And the Pioneers with the lead. Precious Gaddis with it out front, looking for a good shot. There's no rush.
Jay Hatch wants the defense to settle off him a little bit, not want to give that dribble move, because that's why.
Nice move by Gray, and she's fouled going to the basket. Fans a little upset about that.
I'm not so sure that he's going to call timeout. He might talk to them a little bit about changing their defense, mix it up again.
Well, it's up for grabs. Alleman still leading, but only by 6. We'll be back right after these messages on the IHSA TV network. There are the fans here at Redbird Arena, and we want you to know that this copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the expressed written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited. And it's a fist into the air and a number 1. Will the Alleman Pioneers be the state champs, or will the Lady Eagles come back?
I love that big green hand. It's great.
Jacque Gray on the line, is fouled by Manning, cans the free throw. She's been the unsung hero here in this ball game with her 14th point.
Again, take note that she is only a freshman.
Missed that one a little bit hard. And it's a 5-point game. 3 minutes to play. Who will hold that championship trophy aloft? Will it be a second one for the Lady Eagles or the first for Rock Island Alleman? They already set their school record wins, but the only one they want is this one. Nice opening underneath, and we're going to get a foul. Tried to draw it, but refs aren't buying it.
Well, you know, we're trying to determine here what Coach Hatch talked about at the timeout, but I would think he's telling them that he wants them to make sure whatever shot they take is an open layup like that. And you can see she came out of the backside. Shot did not count because the foul was prior to the release of the shot.
Good defense on the out of bounds. 5 seconds.
Yep.
5-second violation.
With 2:48 to play, this is what we've got. Each team has 2 full timeouts, and they're both in the 1-on-1 bonus. The possession arrow in favor of the Alleman Pioneers, but the foul trouble for 3 of the players on Chicago Hope has been the story. Gaddis, no good. Rebound, Alleman. Precious Gaddis has not had the game she usually has, and I'm telling you, she is a fabulous young lady and player, an outstanding student, number 2 in her class.
Rock Island right now should take their time, run some clock. Don't force anything.
They've had those backdoor cuts where somebody's wide open, and we almost had another one. Posavasic was wide open inside.
They've got to cut in front of the defender, though, if they're going to get an open shot. There it is.
Good defense by Jacque Gray on that one.
They're switching inside, so that means someone will be open.
Oh, Clifton almost got the drop on Eason. Running clock, under 2 minutes to play. 5-point lead by the Pioneers, and they are doing a great job of running clock and keeping themselves moving, making everybody work. This is quite an interesting offense and very effective. The open shot, Clifton doesn't even look for it. 1:32 to play.
She's going to have a 5 if she's not careful.
They don't even care about shooting unless it's easy. 2 or 3 shot opportunities not being taken. Sedum, 1:18 to play. 5-point lead. We may get into the half to foul stage here for the Lady Eagles.
No, I think they need to foul, yes.
And we're going to get timeout by Hatch.
Smart timeout.
Got a little nervous there. Jay Hatch, 1:10 to play, 5-point lead, and they just ran off about 1:10. Very controlled.
Right now, Coach Spearman telling the girls, listen, guys, we don't have a whole lot of time. We have to go after the loose ball, possibly foul, stop the clock.
There is your first team all-state team. Teresa Lish, who you saw in the 3rd place game, Jocelyn Juergens, Jocelyn Mellon, everyone but Brittany Johnson on this IBCA team was here at the tournament. Latier Eason, you see her playing right now. Maggart, we saw earlier in the quarterfinals. Some great players, and a lot of them brought their teams here to the state. What an honor for these kids. And Jim Albrecht.
Thank you, Ann. Of course, sometimes the bigger the game and the more tense the moment, a coach's job is to remind people of the basics. Jay Hatch, first of all, said, we don't need to foul anybody right now. Secondly, all we have to do is get the ball in bounds, and they'll have to foul us. That's basics, but basics win championships. Ann?
Thanks a lot, Jim. This is one of the most balanced teams you're ever going to want to see on a court.
Well, and I'll tell you, he refers to the basics, but what's so impressive by both teams, rock solid fundamentals, and all of these girls that are on the floor tonight, their game is at another level. I mean, they are really talented young women that really know how to play the game offensively and defensively.
And they put on a show for the fans here, and we hope you've enjoyed it here at home. Ann Pensler along with Bernie Charo. 1:10 to play and a state championship on the line. 5-point lead for the Pioneers of Rock Island Alleman. They have a third-place trophy in their case, and they want to add the big one. Clifton, so heady, did not, came close to 10-second, knew all the time where she was.
They're letting too much time run off.
That foul's going to be called on Eason, and that will be her fourth. So right now, the problem with having to foul is if you foul and you're a Lady Eagle, you're likely to have your fifth. Manning goes to the line.
How big are these free throws, Ian?
About as big as it gets, because right now it's a two-possession game. She makes them both, and it makes it 3. Does not get it. Manning, a 60% free throw shooter, and they forgot that it was a 1-on-1, and everybody stopped for a while. Nobody even near rebounding for Pioneers. All the way to the hole, Tony for 2.
That's what they can do.
Like Xavier Tony with a left-handed layup.
I'm surprised there was no timeout there. But
3-point game. Pioneers with the ball. And they're going to have to go after. Latier goes for it, and that may be her, if they assess it to her, that will be her fifth. He's telling Coach, but Coach, I had to stop the clock. And she got lucky. It's on Jaquay Gray. Could have assessed it to either of them. They both got her. Clifton has been just money at the line, even though for the season, 59%.
That last shot that Hope took, Coach Spearman needs to call a timeout to set up a press.
Again, no rebounders, and comes off to the Lady Eagles. A 3-point bucket will tie it. Gray takes it, and off iron.
Whoa.
And we're going to get a foul.
14.
But Xavier Tony can't believe it. But it is going to be assessed to Laxavia, and that will be her fifth. She's the lone returnee from the 2003 championship team, has been the team leader all season long, and she does not want to take a seat. Fouled out with 7 points, but more importantly, her floor leadership.
Yes. The opportunities that Rock Island is getting at the free throw line, they've got to convert.
They've had 2 chances. This will be the 3rd consecutive trip to the line with no rebounders and not converting. A 1-and-1, Manning at the line. These are huge. 24 seconds to play, and it's good. So after 2 unsuccessful attempts for the Pioneers, this one goes down. Coach Hatch has given his last instructions, and Coach Spearman wants a timeout. As you see, the National Guard and the Alleman Pioneers jumping up and down. They think they may have a state championship, but with the way this game has gone back and forth, you never know. Four-point ball game. That's a 2-possession ball game right now, and the coaches, what do you say in the huddle right now on both sides, Bernie?
Well, Jay Hatch, I think they're in a good position. You just want to make sure that you don't foul defensively. Again, you don't need to foul, they need to foul you. Box out, don't give them a second shot. And if you're Hope, you're going to tell them, you got to attack the basket, and let's call timeout again and get set up on a press.
Well, as you're seeing on the screen here, this is the first of 4 successive weekends. First we got AA for girls next weekend, then boys Class A, then the final one will be Class AA. And Jim Albrecht.
The Hope strategy is pretty simple. If they make the free throw, we're down by 5. We don't need 3 right away. If they give you the easy lay-in, take it, then press. If you can't get the lay-in, kick it out for the 3. We'll see, first of all, if the free throw goes down, Ann.
All right, Jim, pretty simple strategy, tough to execute. And again, nobody on the line to rebound for the Pioneers. Nothing but Eagles underneath. And Manning with the free throw. She made her first, her 11th point of the evening. She'd love to have this one. And she gets it.
You work in practice all the time. Championship on the line. Got to make the free throw.
You dream for this moment, and Eason's got the ball.
No foul.
She puts it up and good. So not much time there, boy.
They're not taking it.
And we're going to get a foul.
Though.
And if it's on Eason, that would be her 5th.
Amanda Clifton will go to the line.
And that means Latier Eason has also gotten her 5th foul. So Laxavia Tony, now Latier Eason, 2 of their best shooters. And that means that into the lineup will be Takara Gray.
Entering the game for Hope, number 23, Takara Gray.
I saw them in the super sectional with foul trouble, and they handled it beautifully, but it wasn't with 15 seconds to play. It makes a big difference. And these are huge free throws for Amanda Clifton. Because right now it's a 1-possession ball game. This could put it in a different realm. The sophomore puts it up and gets the bucket. We're in the double bonus. Both teams are. I'm sorry, just Alleman will be shooting the double bonus. Calm, 8.9 her season, but look at this game. The sophomore, and that's number 17 for Amanda Clifton.
I said that Rock Island was going to have to score 55 points to win this game. They have 58. Well, 15 seconds away.
5-point lead, and that's almost the same situation Jim talked about just a minute ago. Time change, do they have to get the 3 first now?
I think you need to get the 3 right away.
And that hurts because Latier Eason, one of their best 3-point shooters, is out of the ball game. That probably leaves Jacque Gray or Precious Gaddis to take it. Jay Hatch talking to his troops, setting up both the defense, and what happens after that? You hold the ball?
Well, yeah, because they're going to come and foul. You know, they're going to come after you. And, you know, maybe I'll retract my statement. I don't think you need to get the 3 right away. You can do a really aggressive dribble penetration. If you get fouled, then you might get 3 points out of it. But probably more important, if they score, they have to set up defensively and deny the inbounds pass and put some pressure on them.
You pretty much have to call whatever options you've got at this point, just in case you're not able to get a timeout. And Jim Albrecht, last comments over there.
And of course, there's a lot of state championship areas across the state, but the Illinois Quad City area has had a lot of great teams in the past, both boys and girls, but they have never brought home a basketball state championship. Not Rock Island, not Moline, not East Moline, not anybody, but in 15 seconds, maybe the Alleman girls, Ann?
Thanks a lot, Jim. And smartly, Jacque Gray wastes some time. She's got a great 3-point shot. She kicks it out to Precious and had a little bit of trouble. Good defense by Alleman. 7 seconds left to play, and they've got to get a shot off to have a chance. Precious a little bit short on that, and with 3 seconds to play, it looks very much like Coach Jay Hatch is going to have a state championship trophy to take home and pair it up with all the softball championships Alleman has taken home over the years. And there would be some very happy green folks up there. That's the whole section on that side of the scoreboard is Rock Island Alleman Pioneers, as the whole community has come down to cheer on their team.
What a great game, though. I mean, we're talking that we didn't know the outcome until the last 15 seconds of the game.
That's the way they're supposed to be.
This is what the championship game should be all about. You've got to give Hope credit. They came out of the locker room at half, made some great adjustments, knocked at the door, took the lead. Alleman comes back. It was just a great fight.
We've also got some other state champions in the house. 7A Springfield St. Agnes, 7AA Quincy, 8A Normal Epiphany, and AA 8th grade Chatham Glenwood. And speaking of underlevels, If you like this Allwood team, their freshmen are 27-0 and are 21-0, and their sophomores are 27-0. So I think the cupboard isn't bare.
And they have underclassmen on the varsity.
And speaking of underclassmen, remember that Lady Eagles, not one senior on the ball team. So if this team has every possibility of returning next year, but boy, they wanted it this one. They're going to get their own tape. They wanted their state championship, but they have done a phenomenal job all season long, and this is just the capping glory. Clifton with the ball, running out the clock. She's smiling, and there it is. Rock Island, Alleman,
exciting.
58-53. Some would say it's an upset. The Pioneers have proven everybody wrong all year long, and it started when they won against Quincy Notre Dame, knocked off #1, and they've continued it throughout this tournament. Whatever they needed to do.
Tough schedule brought them here. It really, really provided them the opportunity to have growth and development throughout the season. At the Holiday Classic over the winter in December, they were able to make a statement, beat some quality teams at the Holiday Classic, and now state champions.
I'll tell you what, these Lady Eagles are so classy. Right away in the semifinals at the post-game conference, the first words out of Janelle Spearman's mouth were, we want to say that we have played against the best player in the state with Teresa Lish. Right away, she gave credit to both Lish and Coach Lloyd Crunk. That's class, and these young ladies have played with class. They've congratulated each other. They played hard, and it just came up a little bit short. There you look at Janelle Spearman. And let's go to Jim Albrecht.
This game looked like it was finally over. That word was yes. It's been a long, long climb.
Yeah, I mean, these kids have worked their butts off. You know, we don't have a superstar. I mean, like #3, she was phenomenal. You know, we did everything we can do, and she was still making shots in her face, but we thought if we weathered the storm, we could hang in there and come out on top. And, you know, we made free throws at the end. Katie Manning hits 2 big free throws for us, and we're done, and that's just a great thing.
And there was a key sequence, I should say, late in the fourth quarter when you held the ball for almost 2 minutes, and Amanda Clifton had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a genius, but I think she can dribble the ball pretty good, so we're going to let her have the ball, and we did a great job of setting good screens and getting people open, and we ran clock, and when you have the lead, that's a good thing to do.
Speaking of the lead, how important was it to have the lead? It got away once, but how important with this team?
Well, like I said, I don't know much, but I think you have to be ahead to win. So, I mean, you know, we were fortunate they had kids foul out, and, you know, there was a lot of good things that happened for us tonight and all year, and we're just really happy to be where we're at.
Well, you're a state champion again. I know you've been in softball. Now you can put basketball on your resume. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much.
That is head coach Jay Hatch of the Alleman Pioneers, and, of course, the sophomore who did a lot of ball handling tonight and did it well, Amanda Clifton, is our player of the game. You're not supposed to win state championships when you're a sophomore. You're supposed to wait till like you're a junior or a senior.
What can I say? Got it early. Thanks to the seniors. It's all for them. That's all I want to do is come out here and win this game for them and make it a great year for them, and we got it done.
If you had a few fans here, that might have helped, huh?
Yeah, they're awesome. Probably the best ever. They're great. They're so supportive, and they're always there for us.
So when did you start dribbling a basketball to handle it like that? That takes a lot of practice.
Pretty much as long as I can remember. I was outside all the time, dribbling, doing everything I could to get better, but yeah.
Go celebrate a state championship.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back to Ann and Bernie.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jim, and what a great young lady. Doing it for her teammates. That's exactly what point guards do. They set up and make the players around them better. There you see a happy bunch of Pioneers.
The crowd giving a standing ovation to their state champions and Chicago Hope. Their crowd recognizing how important it is.
Both crowds giving standing ovations to their respective squads. Coming out on top, 58-53, the Rock Island Alleman Pioneers, and there's Clifton, who you just saw interviewed. And we're getting ready for the award ceremony. Let's go to Jeff Fritzen with the awards.
Athletic Director Yolanda Winfield. Head Coach Janelle Spearman. Assistant Coach Hank Hicks. Assistant coach, Jonathan Davenport. Trainer, Brian Guftaw. And now let's meet the Lady Eagles, number 3, Latier Eason. Number 10, Precious Gaddis. Number 14, Lexavia Tony. Number 20, Keela Harris.
See you next week.
Number 21, Jaquay Gray. Number 23, Takara Gray. Number 25, Jasmine Stewart. '33, Ashley Brown. And number 40, Dana Bracey. Presenting the first place medallions will be Greg Bradley, assisted by Mike Kelly. At this time, please meet the Pioneers of Alleman High School, who finished the 2005 season in first place with a final record of 31 wins and 7 losses. First, the principal, Father Mirabelli. Assistant principal, Father Andreher. Athletic director, Larry Schulte. Head coach, Jay Hatch. Assistant coach, Henry Hall. Assistant coach, Mike Ebner. And now the Pioneer squad members, Shelley Charbat. Number 4, Amanda Clifton. '10, Megan Marlier. Number 12, Katie Shekel. '14, Tristan Savage. Number 20, Missy Fobert. 22, Megan Ryan. '24, Jessica Sedum. '30, Katie Manning. Number 32, Kelly Kraft. '34, Carrie Yergel. Number 40, Elizabeth Posavasic. '42, Anna Broody. Number 44, Maria Posavasic. Number 50, Emily Chesser. 52, Ashley Cornelis. And 54, Colleen Kilbride. And now will Coach Spearman And the captains of Hope High School, please step forward to receive the second place trophy. And now Coach Hatch and the captains of Alleman High School, please step forward to receive the first place trophy.
We'll be back with final thoughts right after this network message and followed by local messages. Welcome back to Redbird Arena, where you've seen the celebration of Rock Island Alleman, and there are the Happy Pioneers with their first place trophy. They are the champions as the music has been playing here at Redbird Arena. Some thoughts, Bernie, on this game?
Well, I think at this point in time, the game went down to the wire. It's what you want a championship game to be like for both teams. Of course, you always, the cliche, somebody has to lose. Rock Island Alleman really put on a good show tonight, offensively and defensively, and they met two keys that I mentioned before the game. I said they needed to go 10 deep. They went 11 deep, and they scored with 8 of those 11. I said that they needed to score at least 55 points, and they scored 58. You got to give them a lot of credit. They did a great job executing offensively and defensively.
Well, Coach Janelle Spearman does a fantastic job, and Jim Albrecht's going to have a word with her right now.
Second place tonight, first place 2 years ago. You were just talking to one of your players. I mean, these are the private moments. Can you share what you were saying with one of your players?
Yeah, I was talking to one of my freshmen, Jacquay Gray. She played a phenomenal game. I mean, the best game she's played of her young varsity career since she's only a freshman. So to keep her head up, we'll be back.
Well, there's always hope. What did you in tonight, do you think?
Foul trouble, no doubt. We got in foul trouble very early and just really wasn't able to recuperate. We trailed, came within 1 or 2. I think we even tied it once for a minute there. Then they went on another run. So when it was time to foul, we had no one on the court to really give the fouls.
Well, I'll give you one thing. Well, I'll give you a whole lot of things. You got a state trophy already, so what more can you give you? But you know how to coach. I mean, you love to coach this game, especially in tense situations. I was sitting behind the bench, and I mean, it's all business.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You know, what I draw up and what they actually go out there and do is two different things. Sometimes they make me look real good and like I really know what I'm doing, and other times it's questionable.
Janelle, if we see you down here again soon, it won't surprise anybody. Congratulations on second place.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And of course, Ann and Bernie, it's been a pretty darn good tournament. Alleman put together some pretty awesome quarters. I thought the first quarter tonight set the tone for the Pioneers. And even though they had a run come at them from Chicago Hope, they were able to withstand it, I think, because tonight what we saw was depth beat quickness. And if they had not gotten into foul trouble, Chicago Hope, maybe. But they're a team that plays so well ahead, and they were playing catch-up most of the night. And what Alleman kept doing, every time Chicago Hope made a run, they made a run of their own. And that's how it turned out. Pioneers #1, Hope #2, and we got another year of great basketball coming up. Thanks for inviting me in, ladies.
It's always a pleasure, Jim. You do such a great job, and we've got some great stories. And on the floor, we've had, if you saw that celebration, we've got at the center of Redbird Arena, the Alleman Pioneers are encouraging their assistant coach,
to
dance.
Want him to rock and roll.
They were
not letting him out.
No,
There we go.
there it goes.
Say you can. Say you can.
That's all I'm doing, and they give them big hugs. They were playing the music Celebration before, and that's exactly what you see on there. Let's take a look at the stats from this championship game, Bernie.
Well, as we look at the field goals, 19 for 49, that really sticks out in terms of what they've missed. But look at free throws, 20 for 30, 10 for 12. You know, it was such a close game. I really don't think by looking at the stats, you're going to be able to tell who won or lost the game.
Turnovers pretty even. Points in the paint favors Alleman. Probably one of the biggest differences was the 3 points. The 3-point shots coming out in the second half. All of a sudden, we had East at 26, and a lot of those were threes. Jacquay Gray, as Coach Spearman mentioned, best game of her young career, 14 points.
And all in the second half. She had all those points in the second half. And again, you know, you have to give Hope the recognition that they came out of the locker room in the second half, really made a difference, scored all their points, tied the game, took the lead, and then Rock Island came back with their own counter and ended up winning the championship.
Well, they won it by 5, and it really was a team effort. They went so deep. You don't often see teams with this kind of depth, and they really don't switch. We talked earlier in the semifinal about the ability to switch and know who you've got and what kind of defense you're in, and the communication that it takes to run that many players in and out.
Well, to go 11 deep in a championship game says, you know, so much for Jay Hatch, his staff, his feeder program, and everything that they do in Rock Island, because they must teach the system at a very young age, which is really important. You want to make sure that your underclassmen, as you know, freshmen and JV players, understand what you're doing on the varsity level. It makes it a lot easier.
Well, Bernie, it's been a pleasure this year. This is the first of 4 successive weekends for the original March Madness on the IHSA TV network. The third place game was Belleville-Althoff over Sterling Newman. And in the championship, Rock Island Alleman are your state champs. 58-53 winners over the Lady Eagles of Chicago Hope. For Bernie Chero, I'm Ann Penstone saying so long, and we hope you'll join us next week as the AA girls take the floor.